I'd like to call to order this meeting of the Monongalia County Commission for November 22nd, 2017. Please note for the record that all commissioners are present. If you would, please stand for a moment of silent meditation and the pledge to our flag. Thank you. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Renetta.
Good morning.
Consent and approval, please.
We have 25 exonerations for $28,713.54. Vouchers for general county, $789, $862.80. Full severance, $8,061.53. 911, $4,013.60. Chestnut Ridge Park, $1,408.52. Mason-Dixon Park, $129.41. Assessor's valuation, $35.75. Purchasing card vouchers for general county, $19,781.72. 911, $78.76 for a voucher total of $823,372.09. We have one budget revision. We're moving $25,000 from contingencies to other grants. That was the $25,000 that we received from the Hazel Reuben McQueen Foundation in fiscal year 17 that wasn't accounted for whenever we did the budget. So, and we've received the first drawdown on that from Alpha, too.
Okay.
Position vacancies for boards and authorities, a Board of Zoning Appeals for the Western Planning District, the Planning Commission, and the Mon County Historic Landmarks Commission. Fiduciary orders from November 22nd, 2017.
Did we get a letter regarding the Landmarks Commission yet? Because we did have Michael Mills had stated that his new historian would be interested in that position.
No, sir.
Okay.
Move for approval with discussion.
Second. Been properly moved and seconded for discussion.
The only thing I want to point out is of the general county of the $789,000, $534,000 of that is to pay off the radios that we did for 911.
Okay.
So that has been taken care of, and that's what we had talked about with the carryover.
Right.
It's been properly moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I don't see anybody, but do we have any introductions of new employees or personnel changes? Hearing none, we will move to comments from the public. We are now open for comments from the public. If you would like to speak, please come forward and identify yourself, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak.
You can go to the podium, Wilbur.
Podium, if you
That
will.
way we have a microphone.
Yes.
So we can hear you.
Is it on?
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. My name is Wilbur England. I live in Granville. I am the post adjutant at post 9916 over in Westover. I was looking at the courthouse square this morning. I've heard comments that why are the commissioners paying all this money to redo our courthouse square? Well, for one reason, it needs redone. And from what I saw out there this morning, it's going to be a very beautiful courthouse square. It's going to have a section dedicated to the veterans of Monongalia County. That is going to give the veterans of Monongalia County a place to hold ceremonies, which is badly needed. And really, the people of Monongalia County deserve to have a nice courthouse square where you can, if you want to go over there and see the names of the people that have given their lives, given their time for the county. That's good. Those are the people that we need to remember.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not much on plaques with people's names on them. Who cares who did it 100 years from now? But remember the people that really give their time, give their lives, the mothers and fathers who gave their sons and daughters for the county. This county has a very, very rich history. Oak Grove Cemetery over there, which is in the county. It's not in the city of Morgantown. There's a large county monument over there. Our VFW post was instrumental in getting a new flagpole put up there. We had a nice ceremony over there. Monongalia County needs to come together and remember some of its history. Because the more you dig into Monongalia County, the more history you will find. There are 75 Civil War soldiers buried at Oak Grove Cemetery. I didn't know that. There's a little cemetery in Granville. There's 2 Revolutionary soldiers and 5 Civil War soldiers buried in it. I didn't know that until this summer. There's just a lot of history in this area, and that's what we need to remember. That's all I have to comment on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Well said. Are there any other comments from the public? Hearing your remarks, I think it would be well for us to find out, particularly through the Landmarks Commission, that we might be able to have such instances noted as to the burials, the Civil War and the
I think that would be
Revolution.
worth noting,
Yeah.
yes.
And bring it to their. I'll bring it to the Landmarks Commission when
Okay.
we next meet. Okay.
That's a good idea.
I don't see Colleen here. Do we have any grants for that?
Yeah, just one.
Okay.
It's the 2017 Emergency Management Preparedness Grant. They're requesting funds in the amount of $99,565. There is a mandatory match, and it will be $120,761. Project period is January 1, 2017 to December 31st, 2017. This is a reimbursement grant that helps offset the salaries for the director of the emergency management, which is Jimmy Smith, and his assistant, Harold Sperringer, and then some of the operation costs for emergency management. So obviously we've already budgeted in for the match part, so it's not additional funding, it's just funding that's already in place.
Okay.
And then we usually just receive one lump sum check later on down the road. So there's
For approval?
Second.
Been properly moved and second for approval. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Any correspondence?
Yes. First, we have a letter from the Sheriff of Doddridge County. To whom it may concern, our office is facing an issue with mental hygiene transports from the North Central Regional Jail. Due to Sharps Mental Hospital refusing mental hygiene inmates, our office transports to Huntington, West Virginia. This is causing a hardship on our office's manpower and becoming a financial burden. Per West Virginia Code Section 2751, the sheriff may seek reimbursement from the county of residence for reasonable costs incurred by the county attendant to the mental hygiene proceeding. Therefore, we regret to inform you as of November the 1st, 2017, we'll be seeking reimbursement of transportation for all mental hygiene transports in the amount of $35 per hour and the mileage of 54 cents per mile as set forth by the state. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact our office. I did try to call them yesterday to get a ballpark on how many transports they are doing for Monongalia County and did not get an answer from anybody at the office. It just went to voicemail, and I haven't got a call back. So
My only question is, can we check if that's legal, what they're doing?
it is. I already checked the code.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, it is. It is
Wow.
part of state code. They pretty much just reiterated it in their letter. County in which the hearing is held may seek reimbursement from the county of residence for reasonable costs incurred. So now how they came up with the $35 an hour, I'm not exactly sure. That'll have to do a little bit of extra research.
Yeah, I think that will bear a little bit of looking into because that may not be.
I mean, you're
true to
talking
code.
about probably a 4-hour drive to Huntington from Doddridge County, I would guess.
Yeah, and
Well, yeah, I'd like to know the magnitude and how they come
Yeah.
up with the $35
Yeah.
amount
And then-
per
It's
hour.
nowhere near the length of the drive to come to Morgantown. That's not, we're not 4 hours from Doddridge County.
I mean, if we're talking about 1 or 2 a year,
Yeah.
Right.
that's one thing, but I honestly don't know that
Right.
number. We've never been privy to
Till we
that,
see the
so-
number and see what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, why Huntington instead of a shorter drive from Morgantown?
That's the only other mental health facility
Besides Morgantown.
for inmates, I
We
think.
have none in Morgantown.
No, I don't know that Chestnut
No.
Ridge takes.
Okay. Well, I'm just curious.
That's-
And
yeah.
I don't know that for a fact. so.
Well, I will check into that
Okay,
as well. That's a
that's
good
fine.
I think
question.
you're right. I think it's the
Okay.
only one.
So I'll follow up with that and
All right.
let you know. If,
Any other correspondence?
yes, received a letter from the chamber yesterday. It's regarding the subdivision regulations. The Morgantown Area Chamber of Commerce has placed renewed focus on the economic and community development needs not only within Monongalia County but throughout the north central West Virginia region. Our members have raised an issue about the proposed subdivision regulations that you are considering for passage. Government Affairs Committee has reviewed these proposed regulations briefly, but has not had the time to complete an economic impact report. Subdivision regulations come up for public hearing before the County Commission on November 29th. These regulations are both voluminous, sorry, thank you, and complex, but also drastic in the ultimate effects on all commercial, industrial, and residential development in the county. On November the 15th, 2017, the Board of Directors passed a motion unanimously requesting that the County Commission delay any passage of these subdivision regulations for a period of 120 days. This will allow the Chamber to develop a position on these regulations and any proposed modifications that will reflect our membership's input on this issue. These regulations represent a significant modification of community development within our county. The Chamber is not necessarily opposed to some regulations, but believes that an economic analysis should be completed upon all aspects of these regulations. Thank you for your service and your consideration of our request. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Eldon Callan, VP, Governmental Affairs and Community and Economic Development, Morgantown Area Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you. Is there any other correspondence?
No, that is all I have.
Okay, unfinished business. Sean, the technical and cost evaluation results for the website design and support.
Yes, we have completed this, we've completed this procurement as we've got to the point where we're making a recommendation. I appreciate the IT department, Jeff and John's help through this whole process. And this is an exciting step for me because this is a big part of trying to, formalize an IT department and an IT infrastructure for the county. But we started this off with reaching out for a request for qualifications because this is the type of thing where, you can get a lot of responses. So we did a request for qualifications. We had 5 responses. We identified all 5 as being technically responsive to the request for qualifications. So then we reached out to them for a formal request for proposal. All 5 vendors did come back with a proposal. I forwarded off to the IT department, and they did an initial technical evaluation, and we did this in 2 phases. I had them do the initial technical evaluation and have that done prior to having demonstrations. So we had an opportunity for all of the vendors to do a demonstration. They were half hour in length, 20 minutes for them to basically show us what they'd like to do with our website, and 10 minutes to answer any questions. Most of the questions really resolved around the CMS. That's the content management system that is the heart of your website. And it's the heart of whether it's going to be user-friendly for our staff. So we had the the presentations, and then the IT staff finished their technical evaluations. They provided to me last Wednesday, and that's when we opened up the cost proposal. So we now had the cost proposal and the technical proposal. I did a thorough review to make sure that we weren't missing anything. There wasn't any hidden items in the technical proposal, and I did a rating of all the vendors. And it's very rare that this happens, but we actually came up with a unanimous winner, someone that actually was highest in technical and highest in cost. So
Lowest in cost.
I'm sorry, lowest in cost.
It's okay.
Yeah. And that particular vendor was Revise. They're out of Troy, Michigan, I believe. And again, they scored 100. They were lowest in cost and highest in technical. And I'm pretty excited about, going back to what we were talking about, the CMS systems. There were some that, once if we decided to go another route 2 years down the road, for the most part, that CMS could be transferable, and that was one of the things we wanted to make sure. And with Revise, that's one of the ones that is. There was one company that we'd still have the website set up in HTML, but we wouldn't have the CMS backbone, so it'd just be a shell. So they are one, and they're also one of the two that proposed if as long as we're with them, every 4 years they'll do a redesign at no cost. So there were two vendors that actually proposed that. So I'm excited to get this started, and I will update you if, assuming that I have your approval, to reach out to them and start the negotiation for a contract agreement. I will also get you guys a schedule for, implementation, when we're going to do what, and bring that forward.
So you want to move to?
I move to
begin
accept the
negotiation?
recommendations.
Okay, accept the recommendations as
And-
revised.
And authorize Renetta I to enter in negotiations for a contract.
Second.
I have that motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. That is exciting.
Yes.
I've really looked forward to this for 2.5 years. Is there any other unfinished business? Moving on to new business, to consider setting dates for public hearing on the adoption of a vicious dog ordinance for Monongalia County. I don't see Dana here. Would you care to give just a brief overview, Renetta?
This is regarding West Virginia Code 713. Monongalia County Commission finds and declares that vicious dogs are a risk to public health and/or safety and are a public nuisance. And the proposed ordinance, just a few items that are in it: definitions, classification procedures, requirements, owners' responsibilities, and penalties. I've got a couple of dates set here. So we're going to do the first reading next week, the 29th. Then a Class 2 legal ad will be published on December the 1st and December the 8th. The second reading will be on December the 13th. And then it will be on the agenda to consider for adoption on December the 27th.
Okay.
And then I propose that it be effective on January 1st.
Right. Okay.
Is everybody okay with those dates?
Just to be clear, so those readings, will those be public hearings?
The first reading does not have to be a public hearing. The second reading will be the public hearing.
Okay, so that we will have a public
Yes.
hearing. Okay? No, I'm fine with the dates.
Okay.
I'm fine with that as well.
Yes.
Can I have a motion on that?
Motion to go ahead and authorize Renetta to make the appropriate legal notifications and to set the dates for the two public hearings.
Second.
It's been properly moved and seconded for this. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Next, consideration to approve appointments to Camp Monthly Advisory Board and the Deputy Sheriff's Civil Service Commission.
Okay, so the Camp Monthly Advisory Board, that was a term that had expired. Ms. Amy Blake, I do have a letter that she is asking to be reappointed. And then also for the Deputy Sheriff's Civil Service Commission, that is another appointment term that had expired. It was Frank Vitale, and he has requested to be reappointed as well.
Move that we approve both appointees.
Second?
It's been properly moved and seconded for reappointment approval. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Any other new business?
No, but I do have one other item that I should have had under correspondence. We finalized the mock-up for the flags, the county flag.
Yes.
So it's instead of the brown sort of color, it's now gold.
Good.
The 4x6 flag is 80.
Please note that We were just going back to what the original design was.
Yes,
Okay, or the
yes.
original colors. We did
Yes.
not change the color.
No.
We just were not happy with the color as presented on the first initial look-see.
By the vendor.
By the
By the
yes.
vendor, not by the creator.
Yes. So the 4x6 flag, if anybody is interested, is $81.99 to purchase that. The 2x3 flag, which is the size of our display flags, is $43. So if anybody's interested, they can contact the commission office and we can arrange to get, payment and then put that in with our order.
I think I would like one.
Okay?
Me too.
Okay. So I haven't gotten a date. I think it's probably going to be about 6 weeks
Okay.
before those are actually in. So we'll be pleasantly surprised if it comes sooner, but that's the only thing I have. But
All right, thank you. Do we have any reports from elected officials? Hearing none, we'll move to reports from county commissioners. Tom?
Yes, on behalf of the Pantry Plus More Board, I've been asked to personally thank the Monongalia County Commissioners and the Morgantown Development Authority for temporarily allowing us to use the old magistrate building. This past weekend, we were fortunate. Carol Atkins gave us a 1,300 square foot room over in Westover, and we had a number of volunteers and Mid-Atlantic landscapers brought their trucks, and we moved everything over there. So we're now out of the magistrate building, and we're into our new place that we're still working on. So we really appreciated, that you allowed us to do that, because that was a big plus that allowed us to grow. And the only other thing is, I just want to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and a safe one.
We'd like to commemorate, or at least mention that Ms. Atkins has been very helpful
Yes.
in other instances. So, when you have citizens that step up to help, it really is it's really a good thing for the community. Sean?
Yeah.
Adding to what Tom said, my only real comments is tomorrow is Thanksgiving, and looking back over the past year, I've got a lot to be thankful for, a lot to be being privileged to serve the people of this great county, the best county in the state, of this great state, which we all love. And it's just really a privilege, and I'm just thankful for that, and I hope all of our county employees have a nice, relaxing and safe
Yes.
Thanksgiving, and that's all I have.
Okay. Well, I have one thing, well, a couple things maybe. Today is the day that I will always remember. It was on this day that John F. Kennedy lost his life. It was the first time that in my young life, I was a sophomore at University High, that I could recall being touched by national events. Yes, I remember the Bay of Pigs and some other things that went on, but this was really a heartfelt incident that occurred. Again, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I hope that everybody has a really good time of remembrance. I will follow up on one note as to what Mr. England was alluding to. We will commemorate those who served on the courthouse square. There will be no plaques that commemorate us, commissioners, or anybody else who just simply oversaw a project. We feel that the courthouse square is too important. It's for the people and for the people who served. So we're all looking forward to having it completed and its dedication. May I have a motion for adjournment?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
We are adjourned.